All right, so I got all three of them together, and when you send this to Emma, she can appreciate the differences in the three more than you might. But I know you wanted to see these. So this particular mask is from 2020. It's my newest mask. It's the one I wear now mostly. You can tell it's all worn down a little bit, whereas this one was just redone, and this one was done in 2024. We did a complete redo of this mask. We almost just made a different one, but there's some value there to me, sentimental value. But the one from 2020 is an autism awareness mask. It has my boys on each side. There's Christopher, and there's Nicholas. Looks just like his mother, and we know who this one looks like. Anyway, the difference between this one and the other ones mostly is the cage and the cuts. Cuts of the mask are circular, like they originally were. The first one is circular, I believe. This one, I think, has triangles, and so they're circular now again. And the cage itself is different. If you look at the cage from the side, that thing sticks out. That's because it pucks off the center more than anywhere else. It looks like you take them down there a little more too, but nevertheless, the back plate on this is just been redone because it was all worn apart. That's actually a brand new back plate. It actually is very close to what this one looks like. Actually, I think it's the same one. I'm not sure. No, this one sticks out a little differently. So 4 years ago, he's made things a little differently. But just has my last name back there. It has Nicholas's name here on the side, and then Christopher's name, and then the Autism Speaks logo, and then he just did a little creative thing here, and they stamp them nowadays. The artists stamp them nowadays. This was art by Jesse. So that is the one from 2020. That's the one I wear mostly now. We'll leave it out to show you the difference in a second. So working backwards, 1996. This is why your mother told you that I was Ozzy Osbourne was my favorite. In fact, Elvis Presley is. But 1996, your mother and I were still, your mother was still living here in America. And so this is when I got this mask. And there's a story behind the number 31. I will, tell you someday. My number was always 29. My birthday is February 9th. So difference in the mask is, you get triangle cuts here, which was something he did in the 90s and 2000s, and then later on did the circles. It's older. So it's a little beat up, the paint job, but it's from a concert T-shirt that I had given the artist, and it's older. He didn't stamp it at all. But there's Mr. Osborne there. There's him holding a cross because everybody thinks he's a Satan worshiper or whatever. But everything inside here is newer. Back then, the Pro's Choice was in Woburn, Massachusetts. He's been in Middleton for years. For years, he's been in Middleton. But everything is all brand new on the inside. All the padding is brand new. Like, I don't know, about a month or two ago. It has Ozzy's logo right there. And nothing really to show on the inside. So the cage is over time, cages have changed a little bit. It was just repainted. Well, I haven't worn this mask since I got it back about a month ago. I might put this on this particular week and give the guys a sample of the old times. So the difference in the cage is this. This is flat. It's 2 bars together, welded together flat. And you can see that. Whereas this is a big triangle. I actually don't really like this one that much. I feel like it gets in the way of my vision a little bit. Could be could be something different. So the third one was made in 1989. I'm going to show you the big difference between this one and these two. If you look at these two, the airbrushing and painting is all the way to the edge there. See how it's all the way inside the cage to the edge? Let's pull this one. They didn't have the cool bags back then. This is a Nova Scotia bag. Let me get this out though. I'm going to pull this down for a second. Haven't really take this out of the bag too much. So this one is interesting. This one is originally painted by a fellow named Harrison, who in the 70s and 80s did pretty much every mask out there. It was not something that I have purchased. This was given to me. This was team issued, and it took me a while to get it back. It was missing for a long time, hanging on some collector's wall, and that's why the back plate is different. The back plate is not original. It's a replica of the back plate. It looked just like this. It was very small. It was a lot smaller than this. It was probably the size of my hand, like that. And Dom made a new one for me. There's a little bump out there, so I guess it is very close to this autism one. But the fellas up in Canada called me Americano because I was an Italian American. They really liked that. So the straps are original. They don't really go bad. You can see the difference. This is where the other plate ended, whereas it ends here now. So you can see how it's different there. But nevertheless, and then of course the sides, the circles, like they are here, and then here they're triangles. So he's gone back and forth in time. There's a second circle here, whereas on the Autism mask there isn't a second circle. So that's just how the mask is ventilated. So just redone on the inside back in October, November. That's why I didn't have it when we did our session on October 20th with your mother. But I got it back shortly after that, and I've worn it a few times. It's a complete refurbish. It's the original paint job Harrison did. Obviously wet sanded and refinished. But what you'll see is here where the cage is, it's all white. But back then there was the belief that goaltender's eyesight was disturbed by artwork or whatever. So everything was white back then. If you look at any video of NHL or AHL or any, even maybe in your country, some video of the 80s and 90s, you'll see that all the masks were white until it got to above the cage. You can see a fresh puck mark there from some headhunter. But the difference in this is the weight. This thing, you can't tell by a video, but this mask is very heavy, and we even had it redone. It's made of Kevlar, and it's all refinished on the inside. He took everything, he took the entire thing apart. There's a video of him redoing it, and he sent it back to Pro's Choice, and here it's so old, the Pro's Choice sticker isn't even on the inside, like there was, back then. I think there was a Made in USA or something like that on here that's no longer there. But this is an original 1989. I got it September of '89. I wore it, and I didn't wear it, into October. I was in Cleveland at the time, and the mask was given to another goaltender, and somehow it ended up on a collector's wall, and somebody saw it on a video, told me about it, and we found a way to get it back. But the cage is, you can see the cage is very primitive compared to these two. The cage is double bar welded together, and you see this bar here is on the outside, whereas here it's on the inside, and here again it's on the inside. So somewhere in time things have changed. See how big this is? This circle coming in. I don't like this. I like this a lot better. See how smaller it is? And of course it's smaller there. I might have this cage taken off and get one of these put on. I don't like this bar too much, so I think I might get one of these put on, but I'm struggling with that because I want to keep the mask as original as it was. I was barely out of high school when I wore this mask, and I only wore it for about a month. 3 games at most, and in practice, maybe about 20 or 30 practices. But if you look at the paint really closely, it's handmade, hand painted instead of airbrush. You can see the stuff here, and this I think is a more of a, I get the feeling when I see this mask and I see, you know, you can't see it on the video, I don't think, but one of the boys is wearing a necklace. Yeah, there it is right there. There's the Italian horn right there that Christopher's wearing. And I just, the detail is too much. I think this is digitally like printed and then touched up with color. I think it's outlined by a digital printer of some sort. This is way too detailed to be airbrushed. This is completely airbrushed. You can tell. You can just tell. And then when you get to this, you can look at the difference in age. It's just a lot more, it's just more primitive in the painting. It's hand painted. Of course I didn't play for this team here. This was a professional team that no longer exists. The AHL team I played for doesn't exist, and the IHL team I played for doesn't exist anymore. That's how old I am. But this has a lot of value to me sentimentally. It hung up on someone's wall, and it was presumably hung up by the back plate, which was cracked and broken and all dry. So Dom made a new back plate for me, and I have worn it, but I haven't worn it too much. I like wearing it. So yeah, the difference in the padding, you know, the way the mask is cut, you see thicker padding here, and you can see there's no padding here at all. It's just how the mask is made, and of course there's a pad here, and it's double layered there. It's thinner than that. So anyway, those are my 3 masks. I wear this all the time. I haven't worn this in years, and I've worn this a handful of times since getting it back and getting a nice shiny paint job. I'll show you what it looked like prior to getting it wet sanded and refinished and buffed and everything. The white was kind of yellow, and the paint was never yellow. It's the finishing that gets disturbed over time. That's why it's finished. So when he wet sanded it, the white came right out for him, nice and easy. And I don't know that he touched it up. I have no idea how these artists do things, but Harrison painted this originally, and then a fella named Sean McHale out of Pennsylvania, USA, had redone this for me. And he has stuff on his Instagram account about that because he's pretty excited about this work. The bottom half of this cage, the bottom half of this paint was used on another mask in the NHL, and the top half was used on another mask in the NHL. So this mask is like we're calling it like a retro thing, because it's 2 masks put together, essentially. So Harrison, you know, painted for these teams, and you know, this is the leaf, this is the French leaf, and then this is, I think this might be like a portion of the French leaf with a hockey stick or something for that matter. I don't know. Yeah, that's what it looks like without the strap on it. But really old paint job, kind of cool, newer paint job, and this is an insane paint job. This is really cool. So there's Nicholas. There's Christopher. So when Emma sees this, I think she will kind of enjoy this a little more than you. I'm not sure, but this is what keeps my head on straight.